I'm Edie Lush, and I'm here inside the Hub Culture Davos studio. It's 2020. It's the beginning of the golden decade. So I've got Luke Davies here. He's from the Group CEO's office and Vice President at Barclays. Thanks very much for coming along.
Thank you very much for having me.
So tell me, first of all, you helped build the Green Banking Initiative at Barclays. Why is that such an important initiative for Barclays, and how did you do it?
Well, at Barclays, we see green finance and sustainable finance as the future. We certainly do. We want to be lending into the sunrise, not into the sunset. And for me, the sunset is the carbon-intensive businesses. And so we've got to be looking at the sunrise, either renewables, the green techs, all of these businesses which are looking to create a future for the world, for our kids, and really that's why we started. But we really saw a commercial opportunity, and I think commerciality has to come into play here because we have shareholders, we have clients who need us to lend to them, need us to return for them. But green finance being the future, we think is the way to go.
There is an issue though around divesting in current holdings and current investments versus planning for the future. How do you balance that out within Barclays?
It's a risk framework. We have to take a balanced view on our portfolio. There's not to say that lending to companies with high intensive carbon initiatives is a bad thing. They are investing in renewable sources, they're investing in new green technologies. So we've got to be doing more of that in order to help them transition. So when someone says, why are you lending to Total? Why are you lending to BP? They have to see that a lot of these companies are investing in major renewable sources and major green tech technologies. And so that is why we're doing both of those things. Divesting is important. From a commercial perspective, carbon-rich assets may become redundant at some point. So as I say, we've got to be looking to the future, to the sunrise, not the sunset.
Tell me about the stress testing that Mark Carney from the Bank of England has introduced, the climate stress test, and how you think that will change the landscape as well.
It's interesting because Mark Carney has always been an advocate for climate action, and we've seen that. Our CEO knows him very well, and he's always put forward the fact that this is a commercial response. And so we need to build into our risk frameworks absolutely everything to do with climate. And the more we do that, the more we realize that actually the opportunities are there. And that's the point. So when we analyze a risk, a lending decision, we've got to make sure that the green is in there. So we've got to understand what that technology is, where it's coming from, what they're going to be doing with those proceeds that we lend out to them. And really, so that builds our risk framework, it builds how we respond to this issue.
Banks aren't always known for their speed, and we do know that the change that we need needs to be quite rapid. If we are going to get to where we need to be by 2030, how fast do you think we can see a change in investments towards green?
It depends how you look at it and how nimble you can be. We at Barclays see that the first thing that we need to do is create this framework. And being here at Davos, you see that in fact, there is risk frameworks being built, but sometimes there isn't a consensus. So when the Bank of England come out with their task force for climate disclosure, that really is important, certainly in the UK, for providing a framework foundation for us all to think about and for us all to enhance our own risk frameworks. But the speed is important. I mean, we hear from Greta, we hear from other activists that this needs to happen and it needs to happen fast. But you can't underestimate that, again, we have big clients that need lending, that we can't just cut off what they're doing. But we do need to be quicker. And I think we all agreed this week that we probably need to be quicker together.
Luke, thanks so much for stopping by the Hub Culture studio here in Davos, and I'm Edie Lush.